Hey everybody, alphaexclusive.com here with a real hot stock pick EVTN for March 7th, 2012. And we're going to take a look here at the technicals on the daily chart and the weekly chart. So I wanted to show you a shorter term, and also I think the long-term perspective on this chart also looks excellent. So what we're looking at here is a 4-month chart. Each one of these candles is 1 day in trading length. We could see some lows here around the 7-cent area, recent high at 15 cents. Stock was moving in a downward trend here, found some support around the 7-cent area, and we had a little bit of a bounce. And this is an interesting consolidation pattern. This is what we would call a descending triangle formation. You can see right at the 10-cent level, the stock has a lot of support. You can see it's held its low points here, and what happens is we have from our high point at 15 cents, we start to get lower high points, and this builds up a negative trend line that pushes the prices down. And generally what happens is the volatility starts to get real tight. You can see that the swings were a little bit more wild here, going from 15 cents to 10 cents to 14 cents to 10 cents, and back and forth between the support and the resistance trend lines. What happens is either we need to see a support fails, so the stock price falls down below the 10 cent. If that were to happen, we'd probably see the next support right around the 7.5, 8 cent area, or we can see a breakout past the resistance, and usually volume comes in to give us that indicator. And you can see that we sort of had declining volume here throughout the consolidation, but as the volatility gets real tight, we need to see volume pick up, and we had a volume breakout today on trading. The stock ran up about 12.5%. You can see it ran from 13 all the way to 15 cents at the high and closed at 14.5. Now, we have some resistance here at 15 cents, but the stock is ending its consolidation pattern and is now in a breakout. Generally, these consolidations, depending on the amount of time a stock's in a consolidation for, the next move is usually about the same amount of time. So if we take a look, start around towards the end of January all the way into early March. That's about 5 weeks of consolidation. We should probably expect about a 5-week upward move. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 8 weeks, but somewhere around the vicinity of 5 weeks. That's a general rule of thumb. As long as the consolidation pattern is when we get the breakout, the upward move should be about the same amount of time. So 15 cents is the next resistance area. It's starting to test it. If volume continues to be strong tomorrow, we're going to break that 15-cent level, and the stock's just going to continue to run on up. Looking at the momentum indicator, you can see we've got that positive MACD cross signal giving us that buy confirmation. Last time we had the MACD lines cross up was around when the stock was at a low of around 8 cents, and it ran to 15 cents. So we had a nice almost 100% move there. We could expect something similar again, going from about 10-12 cent area. If we took another 100% move, it could put us in the 25 cent area, possibly for where the top could be on this particular run. So let's take a look at the weekly chart as well. Now this is a longer term perspective. You see the stock had a lot of sideways movement, not a lot of activity going on, basically bouncing between around 20 cents and 40 cents, and not really a lot of volatility or interest. But we had a break of our support. You can see if we take a look at all of our low points, that's what we consider a support level. And when the support got broken, the stock moved in a downward trend. So we took a look at all of our high points, and we plotted them in a straight line, and we get a breakout point right here in the middle of right around the end of January. Again, looking at the daily chart, we saw the same thing. The stock had a nice run up to 15 cents and then a consolidation. But what we're seeing on the weekly chart here is a big long-term reversal that we didn't really see on the daily chart. So this weekly chart is showing us that we've got this nice rising momentum happening here since about the very end of December, early January. The stock starts to reverse from its downtrend, and now we're moving into a long-term uptrend. Again, I mentioned probably in the last analysis, we could probably see maybe around a 20-25 cent area. Well, look where our resistance levels are on the stock. Once we get past 15 cents, the next resistance probably may be around 18 cents. You can see it was a little bit of a resistance here. The big resistance is probably going to be around 23 cents, as that was our previous support area for a very long period of time. That looks like a great target for me. After that, we could maybe see around 30 cents. Again, 40 cents is probably going to be the top resistance here. Who knows where it could go? We've got to look at the fundamentals for that. This is a technical breakdown. And also, again, on the weekly MACD, you can see that during this entire downtrend period, the MACDs were pointing downward. Again, we've got that crossover confirming we've got positive momentum coming back in the stock. So it's only been a short period of time that we've seen this upward momentum start to build, and still early to get in by all means. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, I'm not an investment advisor, so don't use this as any buy or sell signal. And be sure to check out alphaexclusive.com.